Welcome to the Unlock the Genius Within show. I'm your host, Jordan DeBano, former salesman turned alchemist and creative. And on this show, myself and my guests will be breaking down the lessons, experiences, and secrets that we gained through bringing our creative genius to life. Thanks for joining me today, and let's get into the episode. All right, guys, welcome back to the Genius Sessions. I am Jordan DeBano, as you well know, and I have my guest here today, Urszula. Urszula, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for inviting me.
It's my pleasure. It's great to have you here. So if you guys are watching for the first time, you'll know that in these sessions, we have guests who have applied to be here to get coaching on a particular business challenge. And Urszula here has a wonderful coaching business that we're going to be workshopping today. So just before we get into any challenges, Urszula, do you just want to tell everyone a bit about what it is that you do in your business?
Sure. So I am a medical doctor who experienced quite a lot of challenges due to some difficult circumstances of my family. I've lost my husband to cancer 8 years ago, and I become a single mom of 4 young kids. And obviously, also, I was the only breadwinner, so I worked full time, no family around here in Australia. So it was quite busy, quite challenging, and I burned out, not once, but many times. And threw myself into a lot of self-development work to cope with the stress and overwhelm, and just to be able to survive. Initially, it was just about survival because I still had to get up and go to work. And later on, as I progressed and I experienced a lot of changes in myself, I understood that not only I transformed my life and life of my family, not only I survived, but I also started enjoying my life again. I self-organized my life in a way that I wanted it. And even so, I am still working in medical profession. So I regained that spark again. And yes, I sort of managed my time better and developed a lot of tools and techniques that helped me to navigate my life. That inspired me to actually help others, because I know there's a lot of need for that kind of thing. There's a lot of people who are suffering from severe burnout and overwhelm in medical profession and any profession, really. Like there's a lot of people who are disillusioned, disappointed, stuck, confused. They don't know what to do. And so I'm helping people. I've decided to do the coaching qualifications and set up my business. Everything while working full time and still being single mom to now teenagers, young adults. So you can imagine how handful that is. Yeah, so that's more or less
the background. Yeah, amazing. Thanks for sharing. So obviously with a business like that, there's many different facets. Do you want to share what we're going to be workshopping today specifically?
Specifically, I believe, well, maybe you can tune into that, because I have two challenges. One is that I believe that I only made a space in my heart for a client or one or two, because I am very protective of my time. But obviously, I would like to transition to a more coaching scenario where I am engaging with people and helping them. But at the moment, I'm sort of holding for my free time, like for the dear life. So almost like, I want to expand, but at the same time, I don't, because it's kind of, I'm very protective of that time that little time that I have for myself, because in transition, it is still about, my current profession and my coaching activities. So that's one challenge. The second challenge is I'm very uncomfortable with getting out there and telling people about myself and, about my message, AI, marketing myself. Really.
What is it about marketing yourself that makes you uncomfortable? Like, if you just, first thing that comes to mind when I say that, what comes up for you? Selling, yeah, as it is for most people. When I listen to you, what jumps out at me immediately is the being protective of your time. Having gone through burnout sounds like a kind of a protective thing to not sell. So I think we go straight for the thing, which is selling, because it sounds like if you had the clients and the business pumping, you could, essentially just dedicate your time to that, because that's what you love, right? That's what you want to do full time, I'm assuming.
Oh, at least a majority of my time, if not full.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so when it comes to selling, I want to drill down a bit more here. What do you not want to happen when you're selling? What do you not want to occur?
You're going to dark side.
I'm going to the dark side.
What must not exist is it's just like I feel exposed.
Exposed, yeah. Keep going. What do you not want to be exposed?
I don't know how to phrase it. It's something about, I am so protecting my privacy. So yeah, my privacy, not exposing my privacy, not exposing me, that I want clients. So in a way, I want somebody to pay for my service, and I feel like, almost like I don't deserve it, because for me, helping people is kind of, even working on this business, it's a journey that I enjoy, and really connections with people, clients becoming almost my friends, it's just almost like a privilege rather than job. And why should I charge for it?
Got it. So it sounds like what you want is you want people to see you in a particular light that's good, and you don't want to be seen as bad if you sell. Yeah.
And selling, obviously, in my mind is bad. I know it, like from the childhood, because I don't know, from my childhood, we always were family of, my parents were teacher, headmaster, my mom was teacher, so everybody was always employed.
Yep.
Nobody went around selling anything.
Totally. And traditionally, having sales being my background for many years, that was my thing too. I wanted to be seen as good, make some money, and have some have some work. And we really think we can't have it all. That's the ego's game. So we'll drill down on this particular challenge and structure. And if something else comes up, we can workshop that too. But from what you're saying, it's the classic thing. I want to be seen as good in my business. I don't want to be seen as bad. And bad can be, charging, manipulative, putting people at a disadvantage. Well, whatever it is, but for me, what I heard, that sounds like the structure that's at play here. Seen as bad in business. Okay, cool. So let's break this down. Seen as like good, as a good, seen as a bad. You guys know what I mean? What are the things that you believe you need to do to be seen as good in business? Just list them out as they come to you.
As good? Well, authority is the one thing, the most important thing that I
say that again.
Authority. I know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
authenticity as well. Being really able to help people, to really show by example and understand them, and really with the tools that I've developed in coaching program, really make them to see whatever they want to create and take them on that journey from being really confused, overwhelmed, sometimes completely disillusioned with profession. Just open their eyes, because that's what happened to me, that I was in the situation that I felt like locked in a room with no windows, no doors, because there was no option for me. I could only do medicine. I didn't know anything else. And I saw no light in the tunnel, and I want to be that light for people.
Yeah, so what I heard, that there was a few things there, and I hope I captured it all, but I heard, obviously you said being an authority, being authentic, being an example has come up a few times, so I wonder whether that's the big thing that we're looking at. Empathy, you understand your clients, having the skill to create a transformation and actually achieve a result at the end of the day. Anything else that's like really standing out to you as like being good, things you need to do to be good in business?
Yeah, very. So we talked about empathy. That's very important. The kindness and professionalism. Like I feel that kind of determination and devotion to support my clients at all times, and being there for them, holding their hands, making them accountable. Just become their guide.
Being supportive. Yeah, cool. I think, being their guide is, equipped as a coach. So I think that covers it. Cool. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to draw a few arrows this way, and we're just going to test these things that you've told me. Now, the reason we're doing this is we essentially want to work out where the tension is playing. Because if we don't know where the tension is, then we don't essentially know why you're stuck. So let's start off. I'm going to draw the opposite over here, being an authority, not being an authority.
This is big, I think. As you were talking, just this jumped out immediately to me, that I often feel like I'm not good enough because I'm comparing myself to others, particularly within our communities, other coaches with years of experience. I've just only started. So this is big, like not having that authority in this field. And that's new to me, because in my profession, I've been specialist for so many years. I know my specialty.
I'm used to
knowing, and I'm used to being, I say so, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, totally. It's something I went through. I am listening to you. I'm just typing at the same time here.
Like, this is big, like feeling like imposter. And so, imposter syndrome, that's big.
Yeah.
And,
Yes, I went through this too when I came out of sales and started in this particular coaching. I'd done a lot of sales coaching, but working with people's genius and structurally and helping them unlock their heart so they can bring it into business. For me, for once in my life, I was like, shit, on the phone, and for once, I haven't been selling this thing for very long. So one thing that I used to rely on when I'd sell is I would kind of pull rank with people and say, hey, I've been in this industry for like 8 to 10 years, and these people are just finding out about the product. over the last week. So I just say, yeah, look, I've been around for 8 to 10 years. I can tell you this works. And that would just be enough. At the minute I didn't have that, my whole authority would just fall beneath my feet. So I get what you mean. And that's what the ego wants to have you convinced about, that it actually matters, that, authority is something you earn. But as we all know with genius, for anyone watching that's had this thing with authority when you're selling, we do have an innate authority that can come to the forefront, but not in a structure like this. Did you have something you wanted to share? Sorry, Urszula.
Yes. Even so, I do realize that my authority is my journey, because I experienced it, and I managed to recover from really quite a situation, because I literally felt like I had to drag myself to get out of bed. I didn't want to get out of bed, and I'm not sure if it wasn't for my children, even if I would have gotten up and went.
Yeah.
But I had really no choice, but this could end really badly. That's where people start releasing tension into drugs, alcohol, or even worse, suicide, or it's been bad. So I am kind of, now I've done it by myself, because nobody really helped me. Even so, I looked for some help, psychiatrists, psychologists rather, not psychiatrists, psychologists, traditional psychology, and yes, personal development, of course, but it took a long time. So I had to by myself somehow manage to ride on and survive initially.
Yeah. So it's there. The journey's there. Let's break this down, and I just want to return. We might do a little bit of teaching at the end about authority and stuff, just how I look at it in sales. I think that would be helpful. But let's break this down first, because I think as it is already now, I think you're just going to start to realize things. So when you are over here and you're kind of feeling like not a good person in business, maybe a bit of an imposter, a bit selfish, when you start working on being an authority, however that is for you, do you find you start to get closer to being a good person in business?
I'm not sure. At the moment, I'm following the templates and, what gurus tell me, how to gain authority. And I'm not sure.
Now, just really pay attention to the question I asked, because your ego might try and divert you off. When you work on being an authority, do you start to feel like you're becoming a good person in business? Not a successful one, a good person.
I didn't get that far yet.
Okay, all right, we haven't got that far.
Business.
Let's relate. Okay, so not this business. Let's think back to your other career when you're in the medical field, and that was like your full-time thing. When you were working on being an authority, did you feel better about what you were doing?
Of course.
Okay, got it. When you've been working on your authenticity, have you felt like you've gone closer to being a good person in business?
Yeah, but I think you're just authentic or you're not. Do you have to work for it?
I'm asking you. Have you worked on your authenticity?
I feel authentic is just naturally comes. If you're trying to become somebody you are not, then you lose that authenticity.
Yes. Okay.
To be honest, I didn't really know I was going to be on. I thought it was on Zoom only. I didn't know I was going to be live on a not just voice but video. And this T-shirt is just completely incidental that I put it on.
Okay. Yeah. Look, I love the T-shirt. It's good. It adds to the theme of this. Okay, I'm going to pull you back. You still haven't answered the question. When you've been working on or just being yourself, let's say you're either authentic or you're not, but when you've been yourself, have you felt you've been closer to being a good person?
Sure.
Yep. Okay. When you felt like you're being an example for the people you work with, whether it's this business or your past profession, have you felt closer here?
Of course.
When you felt you've been empathetic, are you tipping over here?
Yes.
Equipped?
Yes.
Achieving a result?
Yes.
Okay. And supportive?
Of
Great.
course.
Okay. Now, when you get down here, and this will be in varying degrees. Sometimes you'll get all the way here and you'll feel really good about how you're showing up in business, and sometimes it might just be around here. The further you get down this scale, do you start to notice that you question your authority more when you're feeling good in business?
Maybe rephrase. I'm not sure I follow.
Yeah. Just listen, because this is your ego coming and going, I don't understand it. Just listen to the question. When you've been feeling good, but like you're a good person in your business, have you felt that you start to question your authority even more? Or you start looking for things to increase your authority even more?
Oh, definitely, yes, increase authority.
Increase. Okay. Okay. Do you find you work harder on being authentic when you're feeling good?
Oh, yes, I have more energy.
You have more energy.
More energy and more drive. The authority to me is also more knowledge, because for me it's very important to be knowledgeable about things.
Yes. Yes.
So, more knowledge in coaching techniques and human behavior.
Okay.
In fact, I would happily just go off and never have a business, but just studying about all this and never have a client to actually use.
So I'm just gonna pull you up on something. Can you see what you just said? And for everyone watching, you would have seen this in the last session. Naturally, because these are the conditions, the authority and authenticity are the conditions for you to be good in business. Naturally, when you get over here, this runs out of fuel. So your ego's like, hang on, you need to come back this way because you can't stay up here without this. So like we look at with structural dynamics, the conditions that get you to your result will be the same conditions that create your downfall. So every time you're good in business and you're feeling great, your ego is going to be at you going, but hang on, do you have enough authority? Maybe you need to do the next course to stay a good person. Maybe you need to be more authentic and get the next idea in a circle. And if we go down the list, I'm sure we'd find that empathy, being an example, would also be quite exaggerated. Now, the problem with this is, can you see how being good and being bad, it's always going to be cyclical? You're only going to allow yourself to get so far here then before you get back to bad. So when it comes to sales, not only are you trying to make sales, you're also fighting this. And I would bet that if we just draw the structure down here, sales made, and we have sales not made. This is essentially what your ego has you believing. So you'll focus on being good in business. And when you get here, it's like, yeah, that's fine. I'm being an authority, doing all these wonderful things for people, but no sales. It's cool. I'm comfortable here. But when you're bad and you're actually building a business and you're not focused on these, it's like, well, I'm a bad person. So this is where we've got like what we call a competing agenda, which you would have heard of in this work before. Can you see how that's really clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions so far?
No.
All right, cool. So now what we want to do is we want to get you focused on what actually matters. And something that I teach quite a bit when it comes to selling is sales isn't about sales. Sales isn't about money. There's something higher than that that we can go for. And it's usually the true end result of what our product actually does. The ego wants us to think it is about sales because there's rejection and approval on the line. But that's only because in society, we've been trained to think, make a sale, good, or sometimes make a sale, bad. and it has us in a structure that just isn't true for what sales actually is. I'll take you through something really quick. With sales made and sales not made, what we can actually fall into is a structure of convincing, which you would be very familiar with when it's that real manipulative feel to what's going on in the conversation. What we want to get into is an end result that isn't, and this is where people go wrong. It's not the end result just for the customer. It's the end result of your business. While you and your customer are aware of the current reality where you both are. So you're both here. Your customer, if you're focused on your end result, the end result of your business, and you're both here in the current reality, your customer's either going to be like, hell yeah, I'm inspired by the end result that your business is creating. I want to come on that journey with you. Or they're going to be like, no, it's not for me. In this structure, when it's about the end result for your business, you give a chance for change to occur. Sales is about change. This is what we really want to go for. Our conversations, when we're focused on the end result that we care about, that we're creating for our business, and nothing else, not even the customer. This is where people have got it really wrong. It's like, build rapport, build empathy, and it's like the nice thing to do in sales. That's still convincing someone, and it still feels quite manipulative. But when you're just on the end result that you care about, it just becomes obvious to the customer, hey, is this for me or not? And if it is for them, it's probably because the way you're talking, you've opened up your genius, you're speaking about what you care about, that it naturally creates some change. Do you need to know when the change happens? Do you need to know how that change happens? No, because you'll just be led geniusly by your innate authority about the journey, which you said earlier, right? The change happens, and if that change happens, then that person gets to experience the end result you create, not the end result that you extract from them. You know how people are like, what are you going for? What are your goals? Tell me what you really want. And then they start selling to that thing. Again, that's not necessary. That's still manipulative. That's still, tell me what you want so I can convince you that I've got what you want. That's not it. When you go for and you communicate from your end result, the authority, the empathy, all of it just happens as a byproduct. Cool?
Yeah.
All right. So let's get you to close down your eyes, and we're going to tune in to what this is all really about. Imagine that you're just becoming present with your thoughts. Imagine you can see them playing out in your mind. And now just choose to witness them as the observer. Start to take notice if there's any emotions that are following them, maybe where they are in the body. And again, we don't need to make any of these emotions mean anything. We're just going to choose to observe them. Now I want you to imagine that the clearer you get on your observation of your thoughts and feelings, the more they start to drain out of your body and disappear. fully picturing yourself becoming empty and present in the now. We're going to imagine that a golden circle wraps around you. And as this shape forms, I want you to choose to be in service to your truth and your business's truth. We're going for both here. And once you see this circle take its full form, I want you to define the space as my business's genius end result. My business's genius end result. And as things start to occur to you, I want you to just speak out on what you're hearing. Start to really dive into the symbols and the feelings you're getting about this end result.
It is, Jordan, about a revolution in medical world.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's big. It touches so many people. Because of my work, many people would be able to come. I would be able to touch and change so many lives because of the awareness of, strength, resilience, and being able to bring happier lives to medical professionals, fulfillment, and that obviously is a domino effect on all the patients. Having a fulfilled, happy doctor means they're giving more. When they drained of energy, they're not giving because they can't. There's nothing to give. And so this is like so huge that it's not just a few clients that I'm talking to. It's actually institutions, big institutions, health institutions, the employers. It's like a movement. It affects a lot of people in health system. So this is massive. And
if you had to sum up the emotion in this vision, what do you feel?
My emotion is that of I'm bringing freedom. Freedom of choice and energy and happiness and fulfillment, reigniting the passion for medicine, for devotion, for profession. And my feeling is feeling of mission. This is like my mission purpose. Yeah.
Are you focused on being a good person in this vision?
Not really.
No? Okay.
I don't really care.
What are you getting about your selling here? What's happening when you're speaking to your medical institutions, doctors? What do you?
Well, it's not really doesn't feel like selling. This is my passion and my mission, so my purpose. So I'm talking about it because it's got to be done. It needs to be done. It's a must. It's essential. It's not a choice anymore. It's not about selling a package to a client. It is much bigger than that. And it just doesn't feel like sale anymore.
What does it feel like instead?
Like this is me, this is my life, this is my mission. So it feels like, it's got to be. This is the way things need to be.
So you're just sharing what your mission's about.
Yes, and changing lives in the process. Bringing a lot of structure and into changing the rules, the stiffness of it, changing and moving on with, creating new structures.
Yeah, new structures. So just saying that, that's really good. I'm getting a very clear feeling of what it's all about, even though I'm not there with you. Ask yourself, what is obvious about my next steps to creating this?
It's just really tuning into my genius and asking. It is about self-reference rather than listening to everybody, all the experts out there. It is about actually what comes from my heart. So being in tune with my intuition at all times. So this is making like a regular, every time I do anything with my business, tuning in and being in very close, intimate relationship with my genius. So that's the first step. So it's self-reference rather than external reference. Looking for solutions for other people, so it's a shift from problem solving to actually geniusly creating using my own wisdom.
Amazing.
And just going with whatever I get, not questioning it, not rationalizing it, not even if it's weird and bizarre, just follow through. That tells me that there may be some bizarre and weird thing coming.
Yes, as there tends to be. Okay, fantastic. Now just come out of it, wriggle your fingers, toes. Amazing. That's awesome. So really, what I got about all this is you just need to be in the end result of this revolution that you're wanting to create in the medical world. And I mean, just as you were speaking, I could see the change that you were wanting to create. And I think personally, like if I just go off what I was feeling, people who are in the reality where they're burnt out and they can see how much it's impacting their teams. If you communicate like that, just on what you're creating, the right people are going to come with you and the wrong ones will go, it's not for me. And I got, as you were speaking, I got a real sense of just how much you care. And I think that's the biggest piece of authority that you could ever want. Like you just care. At the end of the day, sales people, I think people really care about authority and being empathetic and stuff when they're not talking about what they love. And people can just feel it. It's like, yeah, this just feels a bit, feels off. But you've got like a real genuine vision here. There's an emotion behind it, which was clear. And yeah, it's got nothing to do with you being good. Your business.
Even so, there is no good or bad.
Yeah, that's it. And it's I'm sure a lot of people watching this will be able to relate to the good and bad thing when it comes to selling. But as you said, there was just no selling. You were just sharing what your mission's about. And it's like, who wouldn't want to buy it? Who's in that particular position to change?
Yeah.
Very good. Did you have any questions about this, about what we've just covered, or are you feeling pretty clear?
I'm feeling pretty clear.
Amazing work.
And I must say, Jordan, it's a massive shift because I've been feeling very, very, I don't know how to say, confused in the past week or so, or 2 weeks even, about this whole situation. Uncertain, confused, like willing to give up and go back to my comfy, reality where I know what's going on. This is very uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you came on the show, because this vision is like, it's not that it's awesome. It's just you, like you've been given this, and it's like people are going to want to hear about it. And I think just to something that that I really want to sum up this episode with is, it's so important to remember that sales it's just been so marketed in a way that's just not the truth. And why I love the work that I do is just creating that experience that you have now. It's like, it doesn't have to kill the heart in business, doesn't have to confuse us, all these hows and things, and say this to be more of like an authority, or say this to, it makes it so confusing. And yeah, it's awesome to see that you've reconnected to this, because I really do believe, like, I haven't worked in the medical profession, but I used to sell products and services to it, and it's a huge thing what you're going out there to change. So best of luck with it, and yeah, I'm excited to follow up in a few months and see where you're at with it all.
Thank you so much. You're doing a great job here. Thank you. I really feel a massive shift.
Amazing. Hey, if you've been enjoying my podcast, I have a special opportunity for you that you may be interested in. I've just started a new segment called the Genius Sessions, which is dedicated to coaching my guests through challenges that's stopping them from bringing their genius visions and ideas to life in their professional career or their business. And right now, you have the opportunity to apply to be a guest on this show. So if you're interested, head into the show notes, click on the application link, and fill in all your details. If you've been successful, I'll reach out to you over email, and we'll book in a time to record the episode. Apart from that, thanks for tuning in today, and I look forward to connecting soon.